Good morning and welcome to this second annual Innovation Nation Conference. This conference is held by Center for Surgical Invention and Innovation, which is a national center of excellence funded by the federal government within McMaster University and St. Joseph Hospital to try and bring together some surgical technology which will improve patient care. We have decided to focus our annual conferences on innovation, because that is the biggest driver of not only our economy but also our science in all aspects. And we have a lot to celebrate in this country in the field of innovation. We have Canadians who have innovated many aspects of our everyday life, not just in science but also in arts, economy, etc. And we hope to focus on some of those innovators today, as well hear from some innovators internationally, from the United States, from across the world. And we have visitors from Israel, one of the countries which has really done well in the field of innovation. So we really have a packed program for you, and we're going to start soon. Just to basically... technology. Just to tell you a little bit about our center, the vision for our center is to improve patient outcomes by enabling more targeted, less invasive procedures. At today's conference, we're going to showcase our first product, which is undergoing clinical testing next year, which is for early detection and treatment of breast cancer, completely automating the diagnosis and treatment of breast cancer. And we hope this will be a mode of a future to improve the quality of care for women who suffer from breast cancer or have high risk of developing breast cancer. We also are in the midst of developing other new devices for a variety of other applications, which you'll hear a little bit more later probably. As far as our speakers today, we have, as I said, innovators in various fields, from arts to science. And we have a very special treat for you early in the morning. Our Canadian astronaut is going to video conference to the conference from Russia. So we have to get that timing quite right. We were hoping to have Honorable Tony Clement this morning to talk about the importance of innovation for the country. It is an important area of investment by the federal government. Unfortunately, Minister Clement had to cancel at the last minute because of an unforeseen appointment which came up. But I'm going to do my best to present why innovation is important for Canada, and for us to not only invest on but to emphasize the value of innovation. Tomorrow morning, we are very excited. We have some young innovators, and you can see that in the audience, who are going to showcase their talents and their robotic platforms that they have designed and built. And it's going to be an exciting day tomorrow, and hopefully you can all stay for that competition. It's going to be even better than last year. A conference like this could not be put together without sponsorship of various partners. I certainly have to recognize the Government of Canada for their ongoing support and partnership, but also MDA, Ethicon, McMaster, CMAS, Hamilton Spectator, Digital Media, Tories, Minogue, the HTX, and as well as the Department of Surgery at McMaster University. So I thank you very much for all our sponsors. I'm going to sort of try and put the scene why we've used the theme innovation each year. It's probably one of the most commonly used term, innovation, and yet probably the poorly understood as far as its significance goes. Because in a simple term, innovation is a new way of doing something or new stuff that is made useful. And you say, well, in every day, I do something which maybe take advantage of some of the old stuff, but I do it in a new way. Well, that's innovation. At university, we focus on research, and that has been our strength, but also at some point our weakness, because research is creation of new knowledge, and that is very important because that's the source of any innovation. But effective and useful application of that new knowledge is innovation. So without innovation, research can be quite wasteful because you have applied a great deal of funding to do research, to develop new knowledge, and unless you apply that new knowledge to improve people's quality of life, really the research can be quite wasted. This is something that, frankly, I learned as a researcher. I'm a university professor and sort of dedicated researcher all my life, and I found that the hard way, that without a way of taking your idea to the bedsides to make a difference in people's lives, that research can be forgotten. About almost 9 years ago, we did the first series of telesurgeries. There is no sound, Mike. Basically, performing operations on patients in North Bay, which is not too far from here, from Hamilton, showing that for a country like Canada, which has a third of its inhabitants in a remote part, it is possible to offer latest surgical applications without moving the patient back and forth to big cities. And that was, for me, a very important research and a very important demonstration of what we can do. And certainly it was taken up by various media. It certainly made a fair bit of...
A doctor in Hamilton performed the world's first long-distance robotic surgery last week. The robot is doing fine and expected to be up and about in a couple of days.
From a researcher point of view, it led to a number of other exciting research, which what research often does. One research leads to another research. So went on to do work with NASA, Canadian Space Agency. We looked at how would potentially can operate from Earth on a moon base in Moon. And we did some exciting stuff. But when I look back and I realized the aim of that exercise was to try and improve the quality of surgical care in patients in remote parts of Canada. And we had not done that because the company which had worked with us had decided telesurgery is not in its commercial path for at least 10 to 15 years. And the CEO decided this is not going to bring his company enough money for at least 10 or 15 years, and he's not going to support it. So he was fine supporting research, but he was not going to help us take all of what we'd done to the patient. And that really was a hard lesson for me, because realization that you can do fantastic research, but unless somebody is willing to take that your research or your idea to an application which can make it a commonplace, you haven't done a lot except showcase an idea. And you know, it's about, as I said, in my field, it's about patient care.
It's a big privilege to be able to take part in this.
This is our first patient we did telesurgery. And I put this video often to remind myself why I'm doing this. This is her before her telesurgery.
It's fantastic, really.
The old way, they would cut you like this, a big incision, and you were in the hospital 7 to 8 days. You're in great pain. Your recovery time, even at home, is very long. Your breathing is, I mean, I don't have any of those things, and I'm not in 2 days. Why shouldn't I want it this way?
So really, research has to be taken to an application, and without innovation, I think most research will find a very difficult path to finding an application which is going to make it useful. When you look at it as a country, these are figures which were published in 2006. This is the latest ones I have, unless Doug Barber has some private, more recent one. At that time, as a nation, we spent $28 billion, or 2% of our GDP, on research. Of that, almost half was spent at research at universities or centers of higher education. We're very good as a country producing spin-off companies, 1,100 spin-offs. I think we're number 1 or number 2 in the world each year in creating spin-off companies. So we are good at doing research. We are even good at getting spin-off companies. And so certainly 400 of those 1,100 were in healthcare. But in generating commerce and taking it to the next step of bringing some commercial benefit to the country, we only produced about $54 million in revenue. So an investment of $28 billion at one end, a return of $54 million at the other.